So, if you've been thinking about building a new PC, or even just upgrading your current one, you've probably had that moment, that sticker shock. You look up the price for some new RAM or an SSD and you just think, hang on, wasn't this way cheaper last year? Well, you're not going crazy. Something huge is going on behind the scenes, and today we're going to break down exactly what it is.
So what gives? Is this just the market being weird again, or is something bigger changing? This is the key question we're going to tackle. And it's a mystery that really affects everyone with a computer, from hardcore gamers to creators to, just about anyone.
And the answer, believe it or not, comes down to two letters: AI. Yeah, that global AI fever you've been hearing about, it has completely, totally broken the supply chain for the parts we all need. This isn't just about some fancy new AI chips, it's a massive ripple effect that's hitting the components you and I actually buy. But okay, how does a chatbot suddenly make your gaming rig more expensive? Let's get into it.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, we need to talk about something called a supply shock. This is the absolute core of the problem, and it's what's driving up the cost of pretty much every major PC upgrade right now. A supply shock is, well, pretty much what it sounds like. It's this sudden jolt to the system, right? Some big event happens that just tanks or skyrockets the amount of a product that's available. And when that happens, the price goes nuts. And right now, the AI industry is causing the biggest jolt the tech world has seen in a long, long time.
So how is AI actually doing this? Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm hitting the market, all at once. First off, you've got the tech giants, your Googles, your OpenAIs, buying up RAM and SSDs in absolutely insane quantities for their AI servers. They're basically eating into the supply that would normally go to us. Then, the companies that actually make the chips, like Samsung, are shifting their production lines to make way more profitable, specialized AI memory. That leaves less factory space for our standard PC parts. On top of that, you get some panic buying from businesses trying to stock up. And the kicker, it takes years to build new chip factories, so the supply just can't keep up.
Okay, but that begs the question, right? Why is AI so hungry for memory? I mean, we always talk about processors and GPUs, but it turns out the real bottleneck, the thing AI just can't get enough of, is memory.
You see, these modern AI models, the large language models that power things like chatbots, they are absolutely massive. We're talking billions of parameters. You can think of them like the model's brain cells, and every single one of them needs to be stored in super fast memory just to work. And that's just to run it. Training these things is even crazier, needing just enormous pools of RAM. And even after all that, just having the AI answer our questions, which is called inference, still eats up a ton of memory. So AI doesn't just need memory, it absolutely devours it.
All right, so we get why this is happening. Now let's dig into the what. Which specific parts inside your PC are getting hit the hardest by this whole AI gold rush?
And when you look at the data, the pattern is, well, it's crystal clear. The components getting squeezed the most are all about one thing: memory. Your regular system RAM, your DRAM, that's taking the biggest hit by far. Your SSDs, which use NAND flash memory, they're right there with it. And even your high-end graphics cards aren't safe, because their special VRAM is another type of memory that's in super high demand.
And let me be super clear about this. This isn't just everything getting a little more expensive. No, this is a targeted crisis, and the bullseye is right on memory. What's happening is basically a giant tug-of-war for memory chips between massive AI data centers and your home PC. And the impact on your wallet, it's staggering. We are not talking about a little 5 or 10% bump here. For some types of the RAM you'd put in your own computer, prices have reportedly shot up by hundreds of percent in just the last year. That is just a massive, massive cost being passed directly to us.
So, with this new reality crashing down, the entire PC industry is just scrambling. From the folks making the chips to the big brands selling the computers, everybody is trying to figure out what to do next.
And you can see that ripple effect playing out across the whole system. The chip makers, they're chasing the big bucks in AI, so they jack up the prices on the consumer stuff that's left. Then the big PC brands, your Dells and HPs, they have to pay more, so they charge us more. And where does that leave the little guy? The DIY builders and small computer shops? Well, they're stuck with shortages and have no choice but to raise their prices too. It's a chain reaction.
And this quote, this really hits the nail on the head. We're at a point where some manufacturers are actively deciding to focus less on the consumer market, the market that built them. Why? Because the AI and data center business is just that much more lucrative right now. That's a huge fundamental shift in how this industry works.
So, where does all this leave us? What does this mean for the future of just owning a PC? because this doesn't feel like a temporary price bump. This feels like the start of a new normal.
I think we can expect to see 4 big trends shaping things over the next few years. First, and this is the tough one, get used to higher prices. They're probably going to stick around for a while. Second, you'll hear a lot more about the AI-ready PC, which basically means new computers will just need more memory right out of the box. Third, since upgrades are so expensive, we're all probably going to keep our current machines for longer. And fourth, this whole situation is going to make alternatives like cloud gaming and streaming PCs look a whole lot more attractive.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, the era that many of us grew up in, the golden age of cheap, easy, frequent PC upgrades, that might just be over. The entire economic foundation of the PC world has been shaken up by AI's bottomless appetite for memory.
And that leaves us with one last kind of mind-bending question to think about. With the cost of powerful hardware going up, and with cloud computing getting better every single day, do you think your next PC will even be a PC as we know it today? That's a question I think we're all going to be answering one way or another pretty soon.